Tonight at 6, the Kent Health Department is asking several students on the 3rd floor of Centennial Court A to quarantine after possible exposure to COVID-19. Students' reactions and what it means for them coming up.
And amid the outbreak, students are now being asked to report COVID-19 concerns online. We have the details.
And the first presidential debate takes place in Cleveland Tuesday night. What to expect and the precautions Case Western and the Cleveland Clinic are taking to ensure people's safety.
An officer involved with the death of Breonna Taylor will be arraigned today. Stick with us for the updates on charges. TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
19 students are quarantined in their dorm rooms on campus after students tested positive for COVID-19. That's where we begin this Monday evening. I'm Jenna Borthwick.
And I'm Nadine Battah. Students were notified this morning by the university and the health department that they need to quarantine until October 10th due to possible exposure to the virus.
Our reporter Chris Abreu spoke with students who are in isolation for the next 2 weeks. Chris, how are they feeling?
Well, guys, the residents in Centennial Court A are a little uneasy with the quarantine ordered. Students in the building expressed issues with food delivery and the Department of Health's ability to mitigate the spread.
A recent outbreak of COVID-19 was reported on Kent State's campus inside Centennial Court A. Residents who live on the 3rd floor in rooms 319 to 332 are ordered to quarantine for 2 weeks. A public information office member for the Kent City Health Department, Michael Angolano, offered insight to action being taken in Centennial Court A.
There's a confirmed cluster of COVID-19, and as a result, had to take a preventative measure. And the next step after that would be to initiate some additional testing to make sure that there is limited asymptomatic transmission occurring in that building.
Angolano also provided information on the steps taken if a student refuses to quarantine.
We would get additional Kent State sections of the university involved to make sure that that person does quarantine and is not intentionally getting other people sick. But should they intentionally not quarantine, they will continue to face enforcement actions from the university in conjunction with us.
Residents in Centennial Court A, Nico Negron and Mitchell Poswick, are concerned about the health department's regulations on campus versus downtown.
Downtown may cause the spread to be a little bit greater because when we're in the dorms, obviously we're going to be staying on campus. When it's downtown, they're taking it all to their houses around, the suburbs around Kent.
Like, why do we have different restrictions than downtown Kent?
The residents are delivered food from the dining halls to avoid the spread of COVID-19. However, residents in quarantine like Morgan Cummings are not too happy with their choices.
The situation is terrible, actually, because since they aren't giving us a menu, we can't choose what we're eating. They asked us, like, oh, do you have any allergies? But they didn't ask us if you have any preferences. So like my roommate said in the Zoom call earlier about the situation, they could give us fish. What if I don't like fish? Then I'm just going to starve myself. I personally, for the next week, I was told that I am under a strict diet. Everything that I was delivered today, I cannot eat.
Cummings continues to mention her confusion on why the department only quarantined these rooms.
Because I've never even seen these people who are suspected to have corona. I've never met them. I've never talked to them. I've never seen them. Yet I'm getting punished when I know I'm negative because I got tested last week.
As the semester continues, residents in Centennial Court A are hoping the university better plans for student quarantines. Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Chris Abreu. Back to you, Jenna.
Thanks, Chris. University officials are requesting students report concerning activity regarding COVID-19 online. Students can also ask questions, share ideas, and give feedback. Our reporter Grace Hare shows you how to use the page.
Today, with TV2 News, we take a look at an interview done by President Todd Dyken and Eric Mansfield about our Flash 7 safety rules, and later a tutorial about how to navigate the Flash 7 accountability site.
What we're seeing is that particularly our on-campus population, our on-campus students are following the Flash's Safe 7 and are engaging in those kinds of protocols that we think will help us manage.
We see an awful lot of students, that are following it, but the president's words are what they are. We want to keep these numbers down. We want people to follow it. And for those that are habitually not doing that, they need to be aware that they can be subject to the Code of Student Conduct.
To access the Flash Safe 7 accountability page, all you have to do is go to the Kent State website and go to the coronavirus update page. Then you will scroll all the way to the bottom as you look past all the other resources provided, press Share Concern. Then, with more resources provided, you can scroll all the way to the bottom where there's numerous links of how you can give feedback, share your ideas, ask questions, and share accountability and concerns. For more information on how Kent State is handling the coronavirus on campus, please visit the Kent State website, kent.edu/coronavirus. I'm Grace Hare, reporting for TV2 News.
Well, hello all of Portage County, Northeast Ohio. I am TV2 weather anchor Odin Adamor-Gorby, and right now we are definitely experiencing some really weird temperatures today, as literally Canton, you're at 80. The rest of us are in the 70s, but Sandusky, whopping 59, probably due to the lake wind. And also we are about to experience some rain showers that are going to be heading our way. And there it is right there, folks. This is why Sandusky has that low temperatures, because it's raining like crazy right now. And we are about to experience this big, huge rain showers that are going to be coming through the evening. So be prepared for that. You know, and be prepared for potential for even for flash flooding. So be careful out there. Tonight, we're definitely going to be experiencing that rain all right throughout your 10 o'clock and your 8 o'clock. And even towards your midnight, so it's definitely not going to be a nice night, unfortunately, folks. And with that all being said, I'll be sure to stay tuned for a full weather report later in the show. I'm Odin Adamor-Gorby. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I am. I do. I am looking very forward to the debate. Thank you, everybody.
As you can see, President Trump says he's ready for tomorrow's night debate in Cleveland. To prepare, his campaign advisors have been feeding the president flashcards and videos. Some are concerned about his lack of preparation, but his advisors say, quote, hostile interactions with reporters prepare him.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden is looking into what the president has been tweeting about him and saying about him in the press to prepare for attacks. Biden says he will not be playing the, quote, Trump game, taking the eye off of the main issue.
First of all, I paid a lot, and I paid a lot of state income taxes too. The New York State charges a lot, and I paid a lot of money in state. It'll all be revealed. It's going to come out.
According to a report shared on Sunday in the New York Times, President Donald Trump only paid $750 in federal income taxes the year he ran for president and in his first year in the White House. The data obtained comes at a crucial moment ahead of the first presidential debate scheduled for tomorrow evening. While speaking at a news conference at the White House, Trump dismissed the report as fake news and vowed that information about his taxes will all be revealed.
Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic have taken steps to help ensure tomorrow's debate will be conducted safely. Due to the pandemic, this debate will be different than ones in the past, with precautions such as increased distance between seats, health screenings, and disinfectant measures. The Cleveland Clinic also serves as the health security advisor to the Commission on Presidential Debates, which will guide safety matters for all the following debates. They will be aligned with county, state, and CDC guidelines.
The former Louisville detective Brett Hankinson, whom was involved in the Breonna Taylor shooting, is expected to be arraigned today. Hankinson was indicted on first-degree wanton endangerment charges just last week and posted a $50,000 bond after he was booked. According to Hankinson's attorney, Stu Matthews, he is planning to plead not guilty.
And in light of these developments, a vigil in honor of Breonna Taylor will be held at 6 Sunday evening here in downtown Kent. People are gathering at the gazebo on the intersection of Water and Main Street. Participants are asked to bring a candle. Speakers will include community activist Sonny Matthews and Kent State professor Gregory King. The vigil is supported by community organizations including Ravenna Moms for Change, Kent United Church of Christ, and Portage Summit Allies for Racial Justice.
And a small racially diverse group of anti-violence protesters walked the streets of Akron Sunday with armed white allies at their side. The 20 protesters chanted the name of Breonna Taylor and shouted Black Lives Matter. Participants said police reforms are needed to establish trust with Black, brown, and low-income people who refuse to out violent criminals for fear that a family member or a neighbor could get shot if they call 911. A few advocated for the arming of residents to deter crime.
Are our bodies hurting more now that we're working from home? We have some tips on how to alleviate some of that physical pain.
Oh, hello everyone. Today calls for not so clear skies moving into the night, but what's tomorrow stacking up to be like? I'll have more on that when we return.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the Portage County courthouses have been busy since the lockdown in Ohio was lifted in mid-May. While the courthouses never shut down, judges held hearings at a reduced capacity between March and May. Kent Municipal Court Judge Kevin Poland shared that the Portage County Municipal Courts received about $14,300 in a grant from the Ohio Supreme Court. The money went to video conferencing supplies, including 3 laptops for court staff to use from home and a mobile Polycom unit for the Kent Municipal Court, which will be used for video conferencing with the Portage County Jail. And the Portage County Jail has been fighting COVID-19 in a new way through 4 UV light emitter robots sterilizing rooms throughout the facility. Portage County spent about $600,000 on the UVC emitters and bought at least 6 for use across the country. Of that $600,000, about $150,000 went to buy 4 UVC emitters for the Portage County Justice Center. The county used CARES Act funding from the federal government to purchase the equipment. And a federal court judge said Ohio's rules for matching signatures on absentee ballots to those on file are a burden for voters, but not enough to change ahead of the November 3rd election. Ohio Southern District Court Judge Michael H. Watson rejected voter advocates' request to suspend those rules in an order last night, agreeing with Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose that the process ensures the integrity of the state's election procedures. Watson wrote that changing the rules a little more than a month from Election Day would be particularly damaging.
A trailer hitch on the highway caused a 4-vehicle crash on Interstate 76 westbound to Interstate 77 southbound over the weekend. Akron police said they found 3 cars that flattened their tires on the trailer hitch. Police said the 3rd car that struck the hitch launched into the windshield of a 4th car. The driver of the 4th car had 9 life-threatening injuries. The crash remains under investigation. And 2 Youngstown State University students died Friday night in a single-car crash on Interstate 76 in Portage County. According to the Ohio Highway Patrol in Ravenna, driver Mukhtar Kamara and Nikian Sese died from injuries sustained in the wreck. The car's 2 other passengers, ages 19 and 20, had non-life-threatening injuries. Troopers said Kamara drove off the left side of the road into a grassy median. He overcorrected and swerved across both lanes and struck multiple trees. Patrol said speed or driver distraction may have been a factor in the crash, but it is still under investigation.
Well, hello, all Portage County, Northeast Ohio. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Adamor-Gorby, and today we are dealing with right now we're dealing with some cloudy skies out there right now. I know it doesn't show on there, but trust me, we are dealing with cloudy skies out there as we are going to be heading into this rainy pattern that's going to be up ahead of us. But dew points around 32 degrees, and if we, as we go through here, as you can see, literally like we are dealing with 70s as this cold front starts heading in. As you can see, 55 Lima, 57 Dayton, and Cincinnati 59. That is where we're going to be dealing with a big fall shift coming in the next couple of days, folks. But currently we are in the 70s, but as you can see, the rain showers are going to bring in that cold front. Here we go. So for your tomorrow's forecast, we are going to be dealing with cloudy skies at 62 degrees compared to what we've been dealing with today in the 70s. So it just goes to show you the fall pattern is here, folks. Lows in the 40s. So yeah, like it is going to definitely feel like fall out there. And your 7-day outlook, you could definitely tell, no more 70s, folks, I'm afraid to say, but we will be dealing with we'll have some sunny skies up ahead, but mostly cloudy skies, so PM showers on your Wednesday, and then we'll continue with this sort of showery pattern even into towards your Friday, and we are definitely going to be experiencing cold temperatures during the week. So that's my full forecast. Be sure you have your jacket and umbrella ready for the fall weather this week. I am going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
It's safe to say, after a long day of sitting through lectures online, my body gets sore after being in one place. Reporter Mandy Gaither shares how to change that.
From computing in a small space to working at a dining room table, being home during the workday isn't always easy on the body, but things found around the house can help, says health and wellness expert Stephanie Mansour.
First, you'll use a tennis ball up against the wall and massage the low back. Go right along the sides of the spine, bend the knees, and then stand up to get both sides of the spine, and also work the glutes because oftentimes tight glutes can cause low back pain.
Next, you don't need a Pilates ball to help your abs, just a pillow.
Place it between your inner thighs, squeeze the inner thighs in the pillow, and pull the abs in. Repeat this 10 times.
And you don't need a mat to do a yoga pose, just a table.
Stretch the backs of the legs and also the low back to help reduce your low back pain.
A few ways to stay loose when you've got those work from home body woes. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Atwater Township canceled trick-or-treat this year due to health and safety concerns of its residents. The City of Kent is still having its trick-or-treat Sunday, October 25th from 3 to 5. Streetsboro will also hold its trick-or-treat, but from 6 to 8 on the 31st, actually Halloween. Stick with TV2 in case any changes are made.
When we come back, find out which judge has been nominated by President Trump to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court.
For the first time since 2014, the Cleveland Browns are over 500 after 3 weeks. TV2 Sports has your daily dose of Browns coming up next.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back. 2 Coventry High School seniors are getting a kick out of playing football. The school's football team was in need of a kicker, and the coach put a call to the men's and women's soccer teams. The women's team sent 6 candidates, while the men's team sent none. Senior soccer players Morgan Ross and Alexis Werstow landed spots on the team after tryouts. Their coach says the girls proved themselves, and Morgan's dad is keeping a tally on points. Alexis has now scored 8 points, while Morgan has 6.
And for the first time in NFL history, 3 women were on the gridiron Sunday in an unofficial capacity during a regular season game. A female coach was on each sideline with a female official on the field at the First Energy Stadium in Cleveland after the Browns faced against the Washington football team. Both teams shared their excitement in being a part of a historic day on social media platforms. Now we'll head over to our sports reporter Dante Centofanti to tell us how the game turned out. Dante?
Yes, Nadine, major history happening in Cleveland Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brace yourselves. Kent State football is back. TV2 Sports got word from Athletic Director Joel Nielsen recently on when we can expect the defending Frisco Bowl champions to kick off the season.
What we do know is that we will actually start a little bit in reverse, where we typically open up with Saturday football games, then we go to MACtion midweek games. We will start right out with MACtion midweek games. So that first week, that November 4th date, we'll start midweek, and we'll go midweek for 3 weeks. And then we'll start Saturdays, the Saturday following Thanksgiving, and we'll go 3 Saturdays.
At First Energy Stadium yesterday, there was history of enormous proportion, and the Browns improved to 2-1 as they defeated the Washington football team 34-20. After giving up a combined 69 points these past 2 weeks, the defense looked much better, forcing 5 turnovers. Myles Garrett was in his bag, forcing 3 turnovers by pressure and 2 sacks. Offensively, Baker Mayfield threw for the least amount of yards of his career in a winning effort with 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. And some other Browns notes: for the first time this season, the Browns have not had to worry about kick returners. After allowing a 38-yard return week 1 and 2 for over 40 yards in week 2. Recently, new kicker Cody Parkey netted 6 touchbacks on the day. Some more notes on Baker Mayfield's performance. He completed 16 of 23 passes for the second straight week. This is also the first time the Browns have had a 500 record after 3 weeks since 2014. Brownie the Elf will be in Dallas next week to play America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas fell to 1-2 yesterday after losing a high-scoring game at Seattle, 31-38. Yesterday, the Indians capped off their regular season with a win over the Buccos. Indians president Chris Abreu announced that Sandy Alomar will continue to manage the club throughout the postseason. Indians manager Terry Francona is still in the process of recovering from his August 21st surgery. Game 1 of the wild card series against the New York Yankees is tomorrow. As the presidential debate goes along with that, Shane Bieber will play Garrett Cole. First pitch is at Progressive Field, 7:10 p.m. Tonight on Sports Corner, me and Austin Arnold will break down the Browns' win over his Hogs, as well as everything in the PTC from a busy Week 5. Be sure to tune in at 8. Jenna, Nadine?
Thanks, Dante. A new study from Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center found that fewer than 1% of the hospital's clinical staff had COVID-19 antibodies. On the other hand, antibodies surveillance conducted by the American Red Cross shows that around 3.3% of Ohioans appear to have COVID-19 antibodies, Gov. Mike DeWine said last week. All of the OSU employees who tested positive for antibodies had already been diagnosed with the virus. About 11% of Ohio's COVID-19 cases have been healthcare workers. And the state started distributing an extra $300 a week unemployment payments to laid-off Ohioans, 2 months after workers became eligible. Ohioans started receiving the extra money for each week they were laid off, ending on August 1st through September 5th. The money, called Lost Wages Supplemental Payment Assistance, was approved in August. Payments were delayed while the state worked out the mechanics of the process. The $300 replaced the original $600 a week bonus approved as part of the Federal CARES Act. And President Trump nominated Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court and hopes to see her confirmed before the election. But that's only 40 days away. So what would a fast-track confirmation look like? CNN's Brett Conway breaks it down.
It is my honor to nominate one of our nation's most brilliant and gifted legal minds to the Supreme Court.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett, President Trump's pick for Supreme Court Justice, and the push for confirmation is well underway. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows says it starts with getting senators on board.
And making sure that all the senators are well informed of the judge's credentials, which are impeccable, but we're optimistic that we'll be prepared.
He says they plan to start making their case to senators Monday and be on Capitol Hill as early as Tuesday. Barrett will also be there Tuesday to meet with several people, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Then the process heads to the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Lindsey Graham, head of that committee, says the confirmation hearing will begin starting with opening statements on October 12th. On Tuesday and Wednesday, Judge Barrett will be questioned. Then there would be a closed session on October 15th with outside witnesses. And finally, a committee vote on October 22nd to send the nomination before the entire chamber. And Senator Graham says he hopes it'll clear the committee by the 26th.
Then it will be up to Senator McConnell as to what to do with the nomination once it comes out of committee.
This timeline tees up a final vote on the Senate floor just days shy of the November 3rd election, putting the Senate on track for one of the quickest confirmations in modern history. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Still to come on TV2 News, the Kent Creativity Festival looked a little different this year. We have how the community made the festival just as exciting.
And find out which actress will be making her debut on a Barbie doll for the upcoming November election after we come back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today, I'm just an aluminum can, but one day, I could be a stadium.
The Kent Creativity Festival over the weekend allowed community members to get out of the house and add to a growing art project. The festival typically features several booths along Kent State's Esplanade where families can compete various art activities, holding 2,000 to 3,000 visitors per year. Due to the pandemic this year, organizers created a drive-through community art project. From their cars, people could decorate a 10x10 foam board with colors, shapes, and symbols that represent what community means to them, ultimately connecting to build a community tower.
And take a look, this new Barbie doll is encouraging people to vote. It's a relaunch of Mattel's Hero doll featuring activist and actress Yara Shandihi. But the new Barbie is getting a new look. She wears a t-shirt that says vote. Creators say this doll will be available to ship October 9th, just in time for Election Day. And that's all we have today. Thank you for joining us this Monday edition of TV2 News.
Follow TV2 KSU on Twitter and stick with Kent Wired for the latest updates and breaking news. I'm Nadine Battah.
And I'm Jenna Borthwick. Have a great night, Portage County, and see you tomorrow at 6.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again.